Ignoring the fierce objections of my friends and family, I resolutely married Victoria Sterling, a CEO who was 8 months pregnant. People laughed at me, calling me a simp and a sucker for stepping up to raise another man's child. Yet, I took care of her willingly, attending to her every need during her pregnancy, the delivery, and her recovery. Overwhelmed with guilt and gratitude, she swore she would spend the rest of her life making it up to me with our son. But on my 35th birthday, the child's biological father, Caleb Vance, returned to the States. Victoria stood me up, taking the boy to reunite with Caleb. I watched helplessly as the son I had raised single-handedly for 8 years shouted "Daddy" with excitement and affection at a stranger. Victoria leaned into Caleb's embrace, her face soft with a tenderness I rarely saw. "Caleb, Leo, and I waited 8 years for you. You're finally back." I felt neither sadness nor joy. I simply marked a check on the calendar for the last day of the 8th year, and mentally summoned the system. System, I have accompanied Victoria and Leo for 8 years. Mission accomplished. Send me back. Victoria didn't know I was bound to a companionship system. She certainly didn't know that I was about to leave this body and return to my original world. Host, the channel to your original world will open in 5 days. Before then, you must sever all ties with Victoria and her son and completely erase your traces from this world. The system's mechanical voice echoed in my brain. I lowered my eyes and gave a bitter acknowledgement. Understood. I had come to this world bound by the system. My mission was to stay by Victoria's side for 8 years. Back then, she was with Caleb, and I watched over her from distance. Later, when Caleb abandoned her at the altar, 8 months pregnant, to run away, I decided to marry her. I don't know if it was to complete the mission or because I genuinely pitied and loved her. After we married, I took care of her and the child with all my heart. I used to wonder what I would choose when the 8 years were up. Every time, I couldn't bear the thought of them suffering abandonment again, thinking I would stay and spend the rest of my life with them. But seeing Victoria take Leo to meet Caleb today, witnessing their happy family reunion, I realized how spectacularly wrong I had been. When Caleb asked Victoria about me, she summed me up in one sentence: "He's a good guy." She told him, "Caleb, after you left, I was pregnant with Leo, and it was hard. Ethan was willing to marry me to save my reputation. He's a good person, so I let him be a father to Leo." That was the moment I knew. She only loved Caleb. I was just a good guy. Now that Caleb was back, it was time for me to bow out, let there be a family, and go home. To cut ties, the first step was divorce. I walked into the house, opened a locked drawer, and took out a dusty document. It was a divorce agreement Victoria had signed long ago. She gave it to me right after we married, saying I had gotten the short end of the stick by marrying her. She felt guilty, so if I ever wanted to leave, this was my out. Back then, I swore up and down that day would never come. I never thought I'd actually use it. On my way to City Hall to file the papers, I heard a commotion. I turned to see Victoria and Caleb surrounded by his friends, who were calling her sister-in-law. Sister-in-law? You don't know. Caleb still owes us a truth or dare penalty from back in the day. "Since you're here, he has to pay up now," one guy shouted. That's right. Caleb, the dare was to kiss a member of the opposite sex. "Since his wife is right here, why don't you two kiss?" Quiche, quiche, quiche. Even Leo was clapping and cheering. "Mummy, daddy, quiche." I stopped in my tracks. In my memory, Victoria was always thin-skinned and cared deeply about public opinion. She wouldn't even take a silly photo booth picture with me. I assumed she would refuse. Instead, she said, "It's just a dare, right? I'll take the hit for Caleb." Before I could react, Victoria stood on her tiptoes amidst the cheering crowd and quickly pecked Caleb on the cheek. It was careful, restrained, yet tender. She pulled back immediately, blushing like a schoolgirl. The scene made my eyes sting and my heart ache. I never expected the poised, icy CEO Victoria to look so shy and girlish. I certainly didn't expect her principles to apply only to me. I clenched my fists, swallowed the bitterness, and turned to leave. Just then, I locked eyes with Victoria through the crowd. Her breath hitched. "Ethan, what are you doing here?" "Just passing by," I replied softly, my gaze drifting to her hand, which was interlaced with Caleb's. Since being abandoned at the altar 8 years ago, Victoria had developed haphophobia, a fear of touch. She couldn't stand physical contact with men. It made her nauseous, sometimes to the point of fainting. On our wedding night, I merely held her hand, and she spent the night vomiting. For years, we maintained a respectful distance. If I wanted to hug her, I had to wrap myself in layers of clothing. It took me 2 years to hold her hand without her flinching, and 6 years to warm her heart enough for intimacy. But Caleb, he just had to stand there, and he won. Sensing my gaze, Victoria guiltily pulled her hand back and stammered, "Ethan, he is." She couldn't bring herself to say who Caleb was. Not just her ex, but Leo's biological father. Caleb seized the opportunity. "Ethan, I am Caleb Vance. Victoria and I are good friends. Please don't misunderstand." But the way he said good friends dripped with possessiveness. I didn't expose them. Instead, I smiled to bail Victoria out. "I know. You're friends. The kiss was just a dare. I trust her. You guys carry on. I have errands to run." Victoria's lips parted in shock at how agreeable I was. "Ethan." She wanted to say more, but I had already turned away. I was leaving this world in 5 days anyway. Whatever Victoria did was no longer my concern. My retreat made Victoria panic, her heart skipping a beat, though I didn't know it at the time. City Hall. I handed the signed divorce agreement to the clerk. "I'd like to file for divorce." The clerk looked at the system and said, "Mr. Cole, your wife, Ms. Sterling, already filed for divorce electronically 7 days ago. Today is actually the last day of the mandatory cooling-off period. You can just pick up the decree. You don't need to file again." I stood there, thunderstruck. 7 days ago. That was the day Caleb returned to the country. I realized belatedly that the divorce agreement she gave me years ago wasn't an exit strategy for me. It was an exit strategy for her and Caleb. I had flattered myself. I smirked self-deprecatingly. My 35th birthday was turning out to be quite a show. I composed myself quickly. "Fina, please give me both copies of the divorce decree." I took hers too, saving her the trip. I put in a gift box as a parting present. When I got home, a birthday cake delivered by a courier sat melting on the doorstep. Just like me in this ridiculous situation, a mess. I ate the cake numbly alone in the apartment. It tasted like ash. Halfway through, the door opened. Victoria walked in with Leo, looking apologetic. "I'm so sorry, Ethan. I ran into Caleb after work. He just got back to start business, so we talked. The dare was an accident. His friends insisted. I had no choice." She pulled a Rolex box from her bag. "Here, your birthday present. Do you like it?" In the past, I would have been thrilled. Now, I knew it was the exact same model she had bought Caleb as a welcome-back gift. Mine was just an afterthought. Hers for Caleb had diamonds. Mine was plain steel. "Thanks. I like it," I said calmly. Guilt washed over her. "Ethan, I was wrong today. Next year, I promise I'll give you a huge party. Right, Leo?" Leo was too busy unboxing the toy Caleb had given him care. "Yeah, whatever." Victoria looked at me tenderly. "You only ate cake? Let me cook you something." "No need. I'm full," I said, tossing the rest of the cake in the trash. Victoria went to the master bedroom to remove her makeup. I told Leo to go brush his teeth like usual. He shoved me away, glaring. "You're not my real dad. Stop bossing me around. I'll wash up when I want." I stumbled back, a dull ache spreading through my chest. From the day he was born, through his first steps and his first words, I was the one who raised him. Before Caleb returned, Leo was my shadow. If I left his sight for a minute, he'd cry. But one meeting with Caleb, and his heart had shifted. He forgot the nights I stayed up when he had a fever, forgot that I was the one who cleaned up his messes. His real dad was back, and I was suddenly an outsider. Seeing my expression, Leo realized he'd gone too far, but his pride kept him from apologizing. He ran to his room. I suppressed my emotions, poured a glass of warm milk, and went to the bedroom. I walked in to find Victoria on the phone, her voice soft and sweet. "Caleb, Leo was so happy to see you. Maybe it's the blood connection. Let's go out again next time, okay?" Hearing me enter, she panicked and hung up. "Ethan." I was just handling some work. Noticing the milk, her eyes filled with guilt. She pulled me to sit on the bed. "Thanks for the milk. You really are the best husband in the world." I felt nothing. I couldn't tell what was real and what was fake anymore. "Finish your work. I'll sleep in the guest room tonight. I am tired." I walked out. In the empty living room, looking at the familiar apartment, I felt a profound loneliness. Suddenly, voices drifted from Leo's room. A video call. "Daddy, my smartwatch is awesome. It can group chat with you and Mommy." "Caleb, look, our son is just like you were, loving high-tech gadgets." They were laughing, a perfect happy family. I didn't feel the pain I expected. I just lay on the sofa and fell asleep. Maybe because I was leaving, my emotions were detaching. The next morning, Victoria was uncharacteristically helpful, getting Leo ready for school. She was dressing up, checking her reflection constantly. "I'll drop Leo off today. You rest," she said, spinning in a new dress. "Do I look good?" "You look great," I said mechanically. She beamed, adjusting her earrings with the excitement of a teenager going on a first date. Once they left, I started packing. For days left, I gathered everything related to me, matching family outfits, handmade crafts, family photos. Since I was being replaced, I should clear the space. I filled a large box. Just as I was heading out, Victoria returned because she'd forgotten Leo's textbooks. Ethan, why are you packing all this? Decluttering. It's just gathering dust. She looked surprised, but didn't pry. I'm such a bad mom compared to you, she muttered, grabbing the books. I forgot his books. I watched her. For years, I managed Leo's education and life. She was always busy. I texted the teacher's contact info to her phone. It's fine. You'll learn. Add the teacher. She looked at me, puzzled, but her phone rang. Her eyes lit up. I have to go. Rest up. She rushed out. I went to the balcony and saw a car waiting below. Caleb was leaning against it, looking stylish. Victoria ran to him, blushing. Caleb, sorry to keep you waiting. It was a look of infatuation I had never received. I donated the useful items to charity and trashed the rest. Then, Victoria's secretary called. Mr. Cole, the CEO, suddenly decided to invest $5 million in a new project. Did you know? It was Caleb's company. The project was high risk, and the board disapproved, but Victoria was forcing it through and even cutting the profit margin. She's not doing business. She's doing charity, the secretary complained. That guy looks like a model, not a businessman. I heard the concern, but realized it was just Victoria's intense love for Caleb. She'd happily go bankrupt for him. Respect her decision, I said. Before hanging up, I asked the secretary to draft a share transfer agreement and send it to me quietly. Years ago, Victoria gave me 30% of the company's shares as gratitude. Now I was giving them back. That night, Victoria explained the investment nervously. Ethan, Caleb is my oldest friend. He put everything into this startup. I have to help him. You're not mad, are you? I smiled, though it didn't reach my eyes. Why would I be? It's your company. I trust your judgment. She was moved, tears welling up. Ethan, you're so good to me. If one day you found out I lied to you, what would you do? As long as you're happy, I said. I shouldn't have fallen in love with a mission target anyway. Ethan. She touched my hand, her eyes signaling desire, her way of compensating me. Usually I'd be happy. Today I pulled away. She froze. Before she could speak, there was a knock. It was Caleb holding gifts. Tori, I came to thank you and Ethan for believing in my project. Victoria ushered him in enthusiastically. You're too modest, Caleb. You're a genius. She listed his awards, proving she'd been tracking him for years. I watched calmly. Caleb's eyes flickered with gloom, seeing my indifference. Can I get some tea? Victoria sent me to the kitchen. While the water boiled, Caleb walked in. Ethan, let me help. Once out of Victoria's sight, his mask dropped. He looked at me with pure malice. Ethan, you're just an outsider occupying the nest. Don't you have any shame? Victoria, Leo, and I are a family. Give up the spot if you have any dignity. I decided I wasn't going to take his crap anymore. Caleb, you really can act. Does Victoria know your true face? Why should I leave just because you say so? Caleb's eyes flashed with venom. Then, you can just die. Before I could react, he grabbed a bottle of cooking oil and splashed it on a gas flame. Boom! Fire erupted. The shockwave knocked us both down. I was closer. The flames licked up my left side, searing my skin. I screamed in agony. Caleb, shielded by my body, only inhaled some smoke. Victoria rushed in. Ethan, are you okay? She ran toward me. Just as she reached out, Caleb clutched his chest and coughed weakly. Tori, you're here. Ethan tried to kill me. I tried to help him, but he snapped. He poured oil on the fire. He said he wanted me dead. He's jealous about the kiss. Tori, save me. Victoria didn't even ask. Her eyes turned cold as she looked at me. Ethan, there's a limit to jealousy. I thought you were mature. Victoria. Hospital. I gasped, too in pain to argue. Seeing my burns, she hesitated. But Caleb started wheezing dramatically. Cough. Tori. My asthma. I can't breathe. He was faking it. His color was fine. But Victoria panicked. Ethan, Caleb's condition is critical. I have to take him. Call 911 yourself. She supported Caleb and walked out without looking back. Victoria. The fire was spreading. A ceiling beam collapsed, smashing into my back. I coughed up blood and blacked out. I woke up in the hospital, wrapped in bandages, feeling broken. The system chimed. Host, 2 days remaining. I turned to see Victoria asleep by the bed, holding my hand. She woke up and hugged me carefully. Ethan, you're awake. You had surgery and a high fever. I was so scared. I made bird's nest soup for you. She started feeding me. The other patients commented on how lucky I was to have such a loving wife. I found it ironic. Ethan, I'm sorry about yesterday. I'll make it up to you, she said softly. Then call the police. Caleb is an arsonist. He started the fire, not me. Victoria's face froze, then hardened. Ethan, don't take your anger out on Caleb. The kitchen fire was your fault for throwing a tantrum with the oil. I'm sorry I didn't save you first, but he has asthma. I didn't argue. I pulled out my phone. I have the kitchen surveillance backup on my phone. I'm calling the police. Victoria snatched my phone, deleted the video, and smashed the device on the floor. You are not calling the police. Caleb is. She stopped. Just drop it. It does you no good. Because he's your ex and Leo's dad? I sneered. She was stunned, I knew. Her phone rang. What? Caleb passed out from anemia? He needs blood? He has Rh-negative blood. She hung up and grabbed my arm. Ethan, you're Rh-negative too. Come give blood to Caleb. I shook her off. He tried to kill me, and you want me to save him? No. Suddenly, Leo burst in, holding a fruit basket. Lao! He threw the apples and oranges at me. Juice stung my burns. The impact reopened my wounds. You bad man. I heard you. You want to arrest my daddy and let him die? If my daddy dies, I'll hate you forever. I won't take care of you when you're old. The child I raised had turned into a wolf. Victoria pleaded, Ethan, do it for Leo. You can't let him lose his father. I looked at them and finally agreed. I followed the nurse and gave 3 bags. Victoria and Leo were relieved. But soon they were screaming. Caleb had a severe allergic reaction. The doctor revealed. The patient was transfused with pig blood. Victoria stormed back to my room. Ethan, you promised blood and you gave pig blood. You liar. I retorted. I said I'd give you blood. I didn't say it would be mine. Pig blood is blood, isn't it? Victoria turned green. You. Ethan, you forced me. She clapped her hands. Bodyguards in black suits rushed in, held me down, and dragged me to the phlebotomy room. Watch him. No tricks this time. Victoria ordered the nurse to draw 400 cc. The needle pierced my skin. I felt the life draining out of me. The nurse warned it was dangerous given my condition, but Victoria was cold. Keep drawing, she ordered. This is his punishment for lying. Caleb suffered because of him. Even after the 400 cubic centimeters was drawn, she wasn't satisfied. Another 100 cubic centimeters, she demanded ruthlessly. Only after that extra blood was drained did she finally tell them to stop. She watched me bleed for the man who tried to kill me. Darkness swallowed me. I passed out hearing Victoria scream my name. Ethan, wake up. I woke up back in the bed. Host, 24 hours remaining. A nurse brought takeout. Ms. Sterling bought this liver soup for you to replenish blood. I threw it in the trash. I texted Victoria, come home at 8 p.m. I have something to tell you. And a gift. It was time to say goodbye properly. She replied instantly. Okay, I promise. Is the gift an apology? I discharged myself, went to the government office, and canceled my ID and citizenship records. I was erasing myself. 8 p.m. came. Victoria didn't show. I opened a live stream app and saw a trending video, street interview. It was Victoria, Caleb, and Leo in Times Square. Caleb knelt. Tori, marry me. I want our family to be whole. The crowd cheered. Leo clapped. Mommy, marry daddy. Victoria blushed, about to say yes, then pulled back. I can't. Ethan has been so good to us. Caleb whined. But you love me. Leo added. Mom, you said real dad is better. Why not? Someone shouted the time. Victoria panicked. Oh no, 8 p.m. She called me. I'll watch her on the screen. Ethan, sorry, I lost track of time. I'm coming home. No need, I said into the phone. Choose the path that makes you happy. Ethan, what do you mean? I hung up. I looked at the gift box on the table containing the divorce decree and the share transfer agreement. Everything returned. System, I'm ready. Mission complete. Extraction in 3, 2, 1. A white light enveloped me. My consciousness faded. The door burst open. Ethan, I'm back. Victoria rushed in. She saw Ethan sitting on the sofa, eyes closed. Ethan, sorry I'm late. You sounded weird on the phone. She nudged him. Ethan, are you asleep? His body slumped over, stiff and unnaturally cold. Ethan, she screamed, checking for breath. Nothing. Ethan, stop scaring me. Is it shock from the burns? She tried to lift him and knocked over the gift box. The divorce decree and share transfer agreement spilled out. Divorce? Shares. Her heart hammered. He gave her everything back. He knew she had filed for divorce. She started crying. Ethan, what's wrong? She found a letter at the bottom. Victoria, I know you never forgot Caleb. Now that he's back, your family is reunited. It's time for me to go back to my world. Goodbye. Victoria sobed uncontrollably. Leo ran in. Mom, Daddy is waiting downstairs. He saw her tears and the lifeless Ethan. Dad! He shook Ethan. Dad, wake up. Don't sleep. Leo burst into tears. Mom, Dad won't talk to me. Is he mad at me? Tell him to wake up. Caleb walked in, confused. He checked Ethan's breath, hit a flash of excitement, and put on a sad face. Tori, don't cry. Did he have a heart attack? Or did he die from his injuries? Impossible. Victoria shouted. But she remembered the blood she forced him to give. Cinquecento, Chi. Did she kill him? Her face went pale. He's just in shock. We need to go to the hospital. They rushed Ethan's body to the ER. The doctor shook his head. I'm sorry, Ms. Sterling. Mr. Cole has passed away. Victoria stumbled. It's my fault. I took too much blood. Leo cried, Dad. I'm sorry. I won't be mean anymore. Wake up. Caleb tried to comfort them. Tori, Leo, don't cry. You have me. I'll take care of you. He tried to hand her a tissue. Victoria pushed him away. Go home. But Caleb looked ugly. Victoria kept murmuring. Ethan, where did you go? What world? Her phone rang. Ms. Sterling? This is the Goodwill Charity Center. Mr. Cole sent us a shipment. We found a very expensive ring. Did he donate it by mistake? Victoria drove there. She found a donation box full of her pregnancy clothes, cookbooks he used for her, the cot he slept on in the hospital. Memories of his love. He canceled his ID, the staff said. He donated everything. Victoria realized the ring wasn't lost. He gave it away. She looked at her own hand, bare. She had lost her ring long ago. She clutched Ethan's ring and wept. Back at the hospital morgue, Caleb sent Leo away and stood over Ethan's body. You bastard, blocking my way even when dead. He pulled out a pair of scissors. I'll ruin this face so she forgets you. He aimed for Ethan's cheek. Caleb, what are you doing? Victoria's voice was ice cold. Caleb hid the scissors behind his back. Tori, I was just trimming his hair, making him look presentable. Victoria saw the scissors. She remembered the fire, the murderous look in his eyes earlier. Suspicion took root. Get out. Caleb left. Victoria buckled Ethan's body into the passenger seat of her car. Let's go home, Ethan. At home, a thunderstorm hit. Boom! Leo screamed, hiding in a corner. Dad! Daddy, hold me. Usually, Ethan would hold him. Now, silence. Victoria looked at the messy house. Laundry, toys, dishes. Ethan, clean up. She stopped. She cried as she cleaned, realizing how much he did. The funeral was grand. Guests whispered. What a sucker Ethan was. Raised another man's kid for 8 years. Her the real dad is back. Ethan probably died of anger. Victoria snapped. She slapped a gossip monger. Shut up. Get out. She collapsed, weeping. Ethan, I was wrong. Later, a friend sent her screenshots of a group chat. Caleb was bragging. That short-lived ghost was useful. Raised my wife and kid for me. Best free nanny ever. His friends laughed. Simp of the century. Victoria read the vile words, trembling. Caleb wasn't the victim he claimed to be. There was a knock. It was Caleb and Leo. Caleb held a cheap bridal shop box. Tori, Leo's been crying. Comfort him. Also, try this wedding dress. I booked a venue. We're getting married. And Leo changes his name to Vance tomorrow. He smiled arrogantly. What? Victoria looked at the yellowing, cheap dress. Ethan had given her pearls and silk. I'm not marrying you. Ethan just died. Are you human? Get out. Caleb sneered. Stop pretending. You love me. Ethan was just a placeholder. Come on, son, your mom is crazy. He grabbed Leo. Leo bit his wrist hard. No, you're not my dad. You're bad. I want Ethan. Caleb slapped Leo. The boy flew across the room, his head hitting a table corner. He vomited blood. Now, Victoria screamed. Caleb panicked but then scoffed. He bit me. Ungrateful brat. Victoria threw a vase at him. Get out before I call the cops. Caleb left, cursing her as damaged goods. At the hospital, the doctor delivered bad news. Severe concussion and ruptured kidneys. Leo needs a transplant immediately. Victoria fainted. When she woke, she learned she wasn't a match. Only Caleb could save him. She tracked Caleb via his social media posts to a KTV club. Before she entered the private room, she heard his voice. That brat bit me. Look at this. If it wasn't for the money, why would I want a used woman like Victoria? I'm his father. I gave him life, and he bites me? I should have hit him harder. Victoria clamped her hand over her mouth, tears streaming. Inside, someone asked, does she know you ran away with a sugar mama back then? Caleb laughed. Of course not. She think my parents forced me. She's so gullible. A cold voice suggested. Why not buy accidental death insurance for the kid? Make yourself the beneficiary. Caleb slammed the table. Brilliant. That's the plan. Victoria kicked the door open. The room went silent. Caleb, Leo needs a kidney. You're the only match. Donate it. Donate a kidney? Caleb laughed. You're joking. He owes me a life. I don't owe him. Let him die. I'll take the insurance money. Victoria snapped. You animal. She smashed a heavy metal microphone into his head. Chaos ensued. Police came. Caleb settled for $30,000 compensation for his head wound. Victoria cut him off. 6 days later, she found a donor. Just as she was going to meet them, Caleb appeared at her door, begging. Tory help. My project failed. Investors want $2 million. Lend it to me, or I go to jail. Get lost. Victoria did. I found a donor. We don't need you. Caleb choked her. Give me the money. Neighbors intervened. Caleb fled with a dark look. Victoria rushed to the hospital, but Leo was gone. The nurse said his dad picked him up. Victoria called Caleb. I have Leo. $2 million ransom. Or he dies. Leo cried on the phone. Mommy, help. Victoria broke. I'll pay. She took a suitcase of cash to an abandoned warehouse. Leo was tied to a chair. Where's the money? Caleb demanded. Victoria threw the suitcase. Caleb checked it, ecstatic. Victoria ran to untie Leo. Leo, don't be scared. Suddenly, Caleb pressed a remote. Boom! An explosion knocked Victoria back. The chair with Leo was engulfed in flames. No, now. She tried to run into the fire, but the heat drove her back. She watched her son burn. Why? I gave you the money. Caleb smirked, locking the warehouse door from the outside. A kidney transplant kid is a burden. Better he dies, so I get the insurance payout. He left Victoria to burn with the boy. Victoria screamed in despair, memories of Ethan protecting them during an earthquake flooding her mind. The fire swallowed her. The next day, Caleb walked into the insurance office, whistling. I'm here to claim the policy for Victoria and Leo Vance. He opened the door to find a squad of police officers. And standing there, bandaged but alive, was Victoria. Caleb attacked her, but was tackled. He was sentenced to life in prison, where he would later be tormented by inmates. Victoria visited Ethan's grave, then Leo's. She lost her mind, wandering the streets whispering, Ethan, take me with you. Meanwhile, I returned to my world. 8 years, there was only 8 days here. I went back to my life. My sister set me up on a blind date with her friend's sister, Sarah Jenkins. Sarah was sweet, kind, and loved cats. We fell in love. I realized my feeling for Victoria was duty, not love. With Sarah, I felt true affection. One day at the movie theater, a ragged little boy slammed into my legs. Daddy, I found you. Sarah and I froze. The crowd whispered, secret son? Cheater. Sarah held my hand firmly. I trust Ethan. Don't listen to them. I looked down. It was Leo. He had crossed worlds. Dad, I'm sorry. Don't throw me away. Sarah's trust warmed me. Kid, you have the wrong person. I walked away. But Leo stood there, crying, holding a flower crown he made, my promised birthday gift. Sarah stopped. Ethan, you're distracted. Tell me the truth. I sighed and told her the whole insane story. I live in another world for 8 years. I expected her to leave. Instead, she laughed. So you're a responsible dad? That's a green flag. She asked about Leo. We looked back. Leo was crying. Sarah wiped his face. Tell us how you got here. Leo explained the abuse, the fire, and waking up here. Maybe God heard my prayers. My heart softened. He was innocent. We decided to take him in. Leo, I said, I can't be dad anymore. Call me brother Ethan. Sarah is sister Sarah. Leo nodded tearfully. Okay, brother. My sister was shocked, but accepted him. A year later, Sarah and I were getting married. The night before the wedding, the system voice returned. Host, Victoria is dying of cancer. Her last wish is to see you. I ref you. Before I could finish, I was yanked through space. I stood in a hospital room. The smell of disinfectant was overwhelming. Victoria, looking like a skeleton, hurriedly threw a bloody tissue into the trash can when she saw me. She looked up and wept. Ethan, you came. My company went bankrupt. Leo died. I miss you so much. She grabbed my sleeve. If I hadn't messed up, would you have stayed? Yes, I said, but you destroyed it. She cried, then looked hopeful. You came back. Do you still love me? I was forced here, I said coldly. I showed her my ring. I'm marrying someone else. She went manic. No, it's a prop. Take it off. She lunged at me. I stepped aside. She fell face first, bleeding from her nose. Ethan, help me. My nose hurts. I didn't move. System, how do I leave? Fulfill one wish to reduce waiting time. I sighed. Victoria, name one wish. Remarry me? No. Date me? No. She whispered, take a photo booth picture with me. I agreed. We stood in a booth. She tried to lean close. I moved away. The photo came out. Her looking at me with longing, me looking indifferent. She cried, thank you. We walked out. Suddenly, a truck roared toward us. The driver was Caleb's crazy ex-lover. You killed Caleb, she screamed. Victoria shoved me out of the way. Ethan, watch out. The truck bore down. I realized this was my exit. I pushed Victoria to the safety of the sidewalk and let the truck hit me. No, she screamed. Ethan, darkness. Then, brother, wake up. It's your wedding day. Leo was jumping on my bed. Sunlight filled the room. I was back. I rushed to the venue. No mockery, just joy. I put the ring on Sarah's finger. The system buzzed. Host, Victoria offers her remaining life to visit your world for one day. Accept? I looked at Sarah, radiant and happy. I had new life. No, I told the system. Tell her I'm happy. Let her live out her days. We are strangers now. In a void, Victoria heard my rejection. She wept. Start the erasure. The system wiped her existence. I felt a momentary pang in my chest. Then it was gone. I held Sarah's hand tight. Forever, she said. Forever, I promised. Story complete, story complete.